In the quiet countryside of Maple Ridge, where golden fields stretched endlessly beneath the setting sun, lived a young man named Ryan Parker. His life was simple, too simple, some might say. Every day, he rose before dawn, walked from one end of town to the other searching for work, and came home exhausted with barely enough money for bread and soup. Ryan wasn't lazy. In fact, he was known as one of the most honest and hard-working young men around. But life hadn't been kind to him. Still, he carried himself with quiet dignity, never begging, never cheating anyone, and always believing that one day his hard work would pay off. One gray afternoon, as the wind picked up and clouds gathered like restless thoughts in the sky, Ryan trudged along the dirt road leading home. His feet ached. His hands were rough from odd jobs. He hadn't eaten since morning. Then, from behind him, a voice called out, "Hey there, young man. Could you lend me a hand?" Ryan turned. Standing by the roadside was an old man with long white hair, wearing a faded brown coat. Beside him were 3 large duffel bags, each looking like they weighed more than a sack of bricks. "Of course," Ryan said, stepping closer. "What do you need?" The old man smiled gently. "I need to get to the next village across the river. I can carry 2 bags, but the third is far too heavy for me. If you can help me, I'll pay you 3 gold coins." Ryan's eyes widened. 3 gold coins. That was more than he made in an entire week. "Deal," he said, and hoisted the bag onto his shoulder. The weight nearly crushed him. "Wow, this is heavy," Ryan grunted. The old man nodded. "Yes, my boy. It's full of bronze coins." And so, they began walking. The sun dipped lower as they made their way along the narrow path. The air smelled of rain and pine, and the sound of distant crickets rose from the fields. Ryan noticed that the old man kept glancing his way every few steps. At first, Ryan ignored it, but soon he couldn't help thinking, "He probably doesn't trust me." He reminded himself firmly, "I'm not a thief. I just want to work, earn, and go home." After nearly an hour of walking, they reached a shallow river. The water rippled like silver glass, catching the reflection of the fading sun. Ryan stepped right in, boots sinking into the cold current, and crossed to the other side. But the old man stood frozen on the bank. "I can't cross this river," he said, his voice trembling. "If I try, I might drown. Could you carry 1 more bag for me? I'll pay you 3 more gold coins." "Sure," Ryan replied without hesitation. Just as he reached for the second bag, the old man's tone hardened. "Promise me you won't run away. This one's full of silver coins." Ryan frowned, hurt by the suspicion. "Do I really look like a thief to you?" The old man didn't answer. He just stared. Ryan sighed and said firmly, "Sir, I've never stolen anything in my life. I used to work for a small lending company, but I quit when they asked me to lie about a client's debt. I'd rather starve than cheat someone." After a long pause, the old man handed over the second bag. "Very well. Cross the river. I'll follow slowly." Ryan carried both bags across. The cold water bit at his legs, but his spirit felt steady and proud. On the other side, they continued until the path began to climb a steep hill. The old man lagged behind, huffing and leaning on his cane. "Come on," Ryan called back. "We're almost there." But the old man stopped. "I'm too old, son. I can't climb carrying this last bag." Ryan stepped back down a few paces. "Then give it to me. I'll take it." The man hesitated. "This one has gold coins. If you run away, I won't be able to catch you." Ryan felt his patience slipping. "I told you, sir. I'm not that kind of man." After a long silence, the old man finally handed him the last bag. "Go ahead. I'll meet you at the top." Ryan slung all 3 bags over his shoulders and began climbing. The path twisted through rocks and wild shrubs. Each step grew heavier. His breathing quickened. Sweat rolled down his forehead. And then a single thought crept into his mind. Quiet, sly, and poisonous. "If I run now, the old man will never catch me." He shook his head. "No, that's wrong." But another thought came. "He's old. He doesn't need this money. I do. I could finally stop worrying. I could buy land, get married, live like a king." The temptation grew stronger with each step. Before he knew it, Ryan's heart was pounding, not from exhaustion, but from greed. He looked behind him. The old man was far below, barely visible. And in that moment of weakness, Ryan ran. He ran down the other side of the hill, through the woods, panting, his conscience screaming but his mind racing faster. By the time he reached his small home, night had fallen. The moonlight flickered through the window as he dropped the heavy bags onto the floor. Hands trembling, he opened the first bag, then the second, then the third. His heart froze. There were no gold coins, no silver, no bronze, just small, smooth stones. What is this?" he whispered, disbelief clouding his face. Inside one bag, he noticed a folded note. He tore it open. "I am the king of this land. I have no family or heir. I've been searching for an honest man to adopt as my son and future king. If you had not run away, that man would have been you." Ryan's knees buckled. He dropped to the floor, the papers shaking in his hand. The room felt suffocating. The fire in his little hearth flickered weakly, as if mocking him. He had spent years living with honesty, surviving through pain and struggle. But one moment of greed had destroyed everything. He could have been a king. Instead, he was a fool. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "Just one thought," he whispered. "If I had controlled just one thought." He stayed awake that night, staring at the ceiling as his mind replayed every second of the day. That moment on the hill, when he could have chosen patience over greed, discipline over impulse. It haunted him forever. And that's the truth of life, isn't it? Every action starts as a thought. Thoughts become words. Words become actions. Actions become habits. And habits shape your destiny. Ryan's story reminds us that even the strongest, most honest person can fall if they let one dark thought take control. It's not the world that defeats us. It's the mind we fail to master. Our mind is like a garden. Whatever we plant, be it kindness, greed, jealousy, or peace, will eventually grow. Ryan planted a seed of greed, and it cost him everything. So take care of your thoughts. When greed whispers, silence it with gratitude. When anger burns, cool it with patience. When doubt creeps in, replace it with faith. Because one pure thought can lift your life, and one wrong thought can ruin it. If you've listened this far, remember this. Life's biggest battles are not fought in the outside world, but inside your own mind. Control that, and you can conquer anything. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a reminder today, and subscribe for more stories that move your soul. Until next time, stay humble, stay honest, and never let one wrong thought steal your destiny.